everyone. Today we have come to the last part of the chapter. In the previous videos till now we have learnt about the moon, the stars, the planets. Apart from all these, there are some more celestial bodies like meteor, meteorites, comets, artificial satellites, asteroids. So today in this video we will learn about all these celestial bodies. So let's starting with meteor. A meteor is made up of debris. A meteor enters the Earth's atmosphere at a very high speed. The friction with the atmosphere makes the meteor hot and it burns till it disintegrates. As meteor falls to the ground, it glows brightly. This is why it is called a shooting star. As you can see here in the picture, so these meteors enter the Earth's atmosphere at a very high speed, and due to this there is friction with the atmosphere, and due to friction, we have learnt earlier in the chapter, friction produces heat. So the meteor becomes hot and starts burning, and this burning meteor enters the Earth and falls down on the Earth, which appears as a shooting star. So this is what is a meteor. Then what is meteorite? Actually, it is this meteor only which does not burn up completely. Sometimes the meteor, after entering the Earth's atmosphere, it may burn completely. But there are certain meteors, maybe they are big enough in size, or due to certain reason, if they do not burn completely on entering the Earth's atmosphere and lands on Earth, then they are known as meteorite. So they are not burnt completely, and this incompletely burnt meteor, when falls on the Earth's surface, we call it as meteorite. Some meteors reach the ground before they burn completely and evaporate. These are called meteorites. More than 90% of meteorites are of rock, while the remainder consists wholly or partly of iron and nickel. Then what are asteroids? Asteroids are the small celestial objects which revolve around the Sun in the gap between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. This gap is called Asteroid Belt. Asteroids are also called minor planets as they are revolving continuously. Asteroids are made up of rubble. Here you can see here, these are the orbits of, here we have Mars, the orbit of Mars, and here is the orbit of Jupiter. And in between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, this gap which is there, in between that gap you can see all these asteroids revolving around the Sun, and it is appearing as a belt, a band. Therefore, this is known as asteroid belt, which lies between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. Next is comet. Comet is a celestial object consisting of a nucleus of ice and dust, and when near the Sun, a tail of gas and dust particles pointing away from the Sun. Comets contain dust, ice, carbon dioxide, ammonia, methane, and many more things. Scientists call them snowy dirt balls. Icy nucleus which evaporates and gets blown into space by solar wind pressure. The best known periodic comet is the Halley's Comet. It appears after every 76 years. 10. Satellites. We have learned earlier about natural satellite, which is a celestial body like moon that revolves around the planet. Moon is the natural satellite of the Earth. The satellites revolve around the planet due to the gravitational pull of the planet. The satellites have no light of their own, they reflect sunlight. But Mercury and Venus, as we discussed in the previous videos, they do not have satellite. Now, what are artificial satellites? These are man-made objects which revolve around planet. They are called as artificial satellites. They are much closer than moon. It transmits radio, telephone, television signals. It helps us in sending back information for weather forecasting, like giving advance warning of floods, cyclones, etc. It helps us in military surveillance. They are used for surveying the natural resources of the earth. They are used to collect information about other planets, stars and galaxies. For all these purposes, artificial satellites are launched in the Here are some examples of artificial satellites. The Aryabhatta, the first satellite from India. Bhaskara 1, Bhaskara 2, Ariane Passenger, all these are artificial satellites. Here, Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, is in charge of Indian satellites. The first satellite made in India, Aryabhatta, was launched in 1975 by Soviet rocket. The world's first artificial satellite was the Sputnik 1, which was launched by Soviet Union in 1957. Children, here there is a spelling mistake. This is not organism. This is Indian Space Research Organization. I'm sorry for this mistake. Please ignore this. And this is organization. Now, as you all were told that this chapter is only for activity, so what are you supposed to do? I hope you all have watched all the videos sent earlier and you have understood the different terms, and you are aware of all the stars, planets and satellites, constellations and all. Now you have to listen to all these videos carefully and also read the textbook once. Read the textbook thoroughly, and then very soon I'll send one Google form in which questions will be asked related to solar system. You just have to answer the questions. That is all for your science activity for this chapter. But you should be thorough with all the knowledge whatever you have gained through the videos or from the textbook. Questions will be only from the textbook, so please read textbook carefully, and very soon I'll inform you in advance, and then I'll send a Google form where you will answer the questions related to the solar system. Okay children, you just have to answer the questions and submit the Google form on the same day. I hope it is clear what you all have to do for the activity. Still, after this video I'll send